Salad. Okay, is your husband moody, irritable, a pain in the butt? Well, he may be experiencing the onset of male menopause. Here to explain more is urologist and male infertility specialist, Dr. Paul Turek.
Good to see you guys.
Hey, Dr.
Welcome back.
Okay, this is a breakthrough.
You guys are going to love this one.
Yes,
I know.
men
Especially
go
you, Janelle.
Yeah, I know. I'm loving this right now. Men go through menopause?
So you're going to ask me, how come you're explaining my husband's behavior for me?
Yes. Can you explain why he's moody?
There is something called the male menopause. It's not a great term for it, but it's called andropause or androgen deficiency in the aging male, ADAM.
Okay.
And it's basically because it's a constellation of symptoms that occur in men with age, and it's due to essentially the effects of a critically low testosterone level, a male hormone level.
Okay.
So the male hormone level in men, I got my own, pull it on my phone.
Okay.
The male hormone level in men tends to go down with age very gradually after age 40 or so. And these are two measures of testosterone, and they both go down gradually with age from 40 to 90. So it's not like menopause, which is a quick drop through the floor of hormones in which women get hot flashes and things.
Right.
This is something that can take years, 3 decades to do, and then all of a sudden some symptoms start showing up, generally in the 7th or 8th decade.
Oh, what are the symptoms?
So generally not hormonal flashes like in menopause, but typically you can have depression, you can have muscle weakness, anxiety, you can get insomnia, so you have trouble sleeping.
Loss of sex drive?
Loss of sex drive, erections are really quite specific for that, so erectile dysfunction, loss of sex drive. Fat, obesity, body hair changes, depression, things like that. So it's a constellation, affects a lot of, and the reason why, another little toy.
Okay, here we go.
Is that testosterone has lots of effects on the body. Now here's a normal, healthy, great-looking guy.
We know that guy.
But it affects your mood, your body hair. It affects blood counts from the kidney, your sex maintenance, things, sort of erections and sex drive, your bone density. So men with low testosterone can have a low bone density, and if they break their hips, they tend not to live as long as women do. So that's really a devastating side effect.
Yeah.
Blood counts, heart, it's good for the heart, liver. If it's low, it can cause more fat. Muscle mass can go down, so strength, etc. And the bone marrow, etc. So lots of effects all over the body.
But now the effects can begin as early as the 40s, but they don't become so pronounced until later decades in life, like 50s, 60s, 70s.
Right, so you would expect, like Shakespeare said that all desire outlives performance, and that's probably why.
Yeah, that's probably okay. So
and it basically affects everybody to different degrees, depending. And some men have it early on, and some men have it later, and it's all susceptibility.
Can you test your testosterone level? It's like
yes,
a blood
you can.
test.
And the diagnosis of this problem is complicated by the fact that other things can cause similar symptoms. So a lot of the symptoms we mentioned have nothing to do with testosterone. For instance, if you have a sleep disorder, you're going to be irritable. You're going to be, having trouble. You might be, an anxious personality. You might get depressed. You might have lots of issues, eating disorders, whatever. Diabetes, thyroid issues are all complex. So it's important to rule out other things. And the other thing is that as men age, this can happen just as a consequence of aging unrelated to testosterone.
So what if there is a testosterone deficiency? What do you recommend as a treatment?
So it's not that simple. You need to have a testosterone diagnosis of a low testosterone along with a set of symptoms. So you really need both, and they have to meet up for it to make a positive diagnosis, and then you can treat. You can simply give testosterone back.
Like just eat hormones or take hormone injections?
No, I usually recommend, first of all, because it's often a complicated diagnosis, get in shape, eat well, sleep well, take great care of yourself, treat your body like a temple, get those sleep disorders treated, look at the medical screen for other issues, and then if it ends up just being a testosterone problem, you can give testosterone on a daily basis through gels, you can take it with injections, you can take it with pellets. So it's quite easy to take. It's like applying suntan lotion.
Do they start growing hair everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, we start growing hair anyhow as we age. I'm getting hair in my
ears,
my nose.
That's weird.
Everywhere but on my head.
You don't want it, right?
I'm losing the hair on my head, but I've got hair out of my ears, my nose, and all kinds of places where it never was before.
Are you satisfied now that the same thing can happen to men?
Yes,
they do go through a period where it can be a rough time.
Is testosterone replacement a safe procedure?
So, yes, I'd say it's safe when given in the right circumstances.
Right.
It has a set of complications. So, for instance, you don't give it to men you're worried about prostate cancer, and breast cancer in men can occur, and you don't give it in that situation.
Right.
You worry about water weight gain. You worry about blood counts going higher, which can cause a problem. You worry about prostatic enlargement and worsening urination issues and things like that. But typically, when you give testosterone to the point of getting them to normal, meaning replacing them, you don't see those symptoms.
Okay.
When you take a man who's normal, who wants to live forever, and he wants to outperform his desire, then you're supplementing him. That's where risk starts.
And on the positive side, using testosterone replacement, you not only see an improvement in what we would call performance, but also in mood,
Yes. So it's
attitude, sleep, all that?
So there's some studies looking at mental capacity and memory and spatial recognition, and those are improved in older men. They can lose a little bit, their mind can be a little off. Not really Alzheimer's or dementia, but mild forms, if I can't remember, they do better. Yeah,
so do we see a urologist for this?
So the problem is a lot of different kinds of doctors are interested, but not really interested in the whole thing. But endocrinologists, a lot of internists, urologists like me who are interested in men's health can do it. And you can test for things and go after it aggressively.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Paul Turek.
This is great information. Thank you so much.
You have your office is in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Okay.